We've been working on this house for 3 years, and finally it is time to put down our bamboo floors. And the last time that Keith put these floors down for us in our master closet, it put him in the hospital for 7 days. More on that later, but let's get to work.
Got my mom over here with this saw, and Daddy is back up. And then we got my dad, that it's the tappy tap tapper. And behind the scenes on the brooms, we got my brother, my sister, and me.
Alright, our first step is to put down this red paper. It's actually going to help create a moisture barrier. And if you missed my last video, go check that out. It was of us leveling the floor of our 1800s home, and boy was it all over the place. We had a laser level out and it was so uneven all over the place. So we have a little bit more prep work we need to do before we put down our Cali bamboo floors. So this is going to give it a little bit more of a moisture barrier. And then we are going to put down this other underlayment, and it is actually going to help with any imperfections that we had of leveling the floor. It's just gonna help it just a little bit more to have it leveled out and provide a little bit of cushion for the floor. But I know you guys aren't super surprised, but Keith got this on clearance. He sure did. So let's get to work. Well, that was easy enough. Now it's time to go ahead and start putting the bamboo floor down, and the kind that we got is a click lock system, which means no nails or anything. It's basically a floating floor. So we're just gonna start clicking it together and leaving a little bit of space for climate change, you know, expand and contract, that kind of thing. So hopefully it goes just as fast. Okay, so like I said, we've had these boxes of flooring for many years, and we had it stored kind of along the wall. We've moved this flooring multiple times. But anyway, a mouse got into our house, and it was going through these boxes, like weaving through. I have some video footage of our dog Skylar going nuts. He was the one that told us we had an issue with the mouse. And so you can kind of see how much it's chewed up the boxes. I'm really hoping that none of our flooring got damaged, but we'll see as we go. so I thought I'd go ahead and share the story of how the last time Keith installed these floors and ended up in the hospital for several days. He installed the floors in our master closet, which is probably like an 8x8, 8x10 room, nothing too huge. And when he installed the floors, actually everything went to plan. There wasn't really any injury or anything that stood out of anything that went wrong. Until a few days later, his knee started to swell up. It was red, and I kept looking at it, and it seemed to be fine. It just looked like maybe, he irritated it, overused it. You're on your knees a lot when you're installing floors. I really thought, give it a couple more days, it'll probably be fine. Well, after a couple days, these little white dots started to appear around his kneecap. They looked like little pimples, and so I pressed on him a little bit to see if anything would release or drain, and nothing. He just said it was excruciating pain. So he ended up going to the doctor, and they immediately sent him to the emergency room. And we're both like, what in the world? Like, why are we going to the emergency room? This just seems like a swollen knee. Well, it turns out he had a really bad infection on his knee, and the doctor thinks that maybe when the floor was coming together, snapping together, maybe it pinched his knee, something like that. Some bacteria, something got into his knee. We weren't aware of any injury, like I said, but some kind of bacteria got into his kneecap and started forming this nasty bacterial infection. It was awful. So anyway, the doctor gave him IV fluids and antibiotic through IV, and just to try to get that bacteria gone. And it was knocking it down quite a bit, but not enough. So they ended up doing surgery 5 times on his knee. It is awful. I have pictures, but I will not share them with you because they are gross. But anyway, every time the doctor went in to cut out the infection, they would find another captain, is what he was calling them. These little white dots were captains, and they would basically be spreading their army men throughout the infection and just trying to get it to go spread throughout the body. Well, he found 5 of those. So every single time he went in for surgery, he cut out another captain. And then by the last one, he felt he got them all. And sure enough, after that, it was fine. Like, he healed up really nicely, didn't have any other infections at all, but his bursa sac is what was really irritated in his kneecap. And that's where the infection was growing. So thankfully, we caught it in time, because the doctor said if we would have let that go on for another week, we probably would have looked at amputating his leg. That's how bad the infection was getting. And again, when we caught it, we only saw little white dots. That's all we saw, and that his knee was swollen. So we really got lucky, but now you can see that Keith is wearing knee pads on his knees as he's working on the floor. And unfortunately, we found out a little bit later that it's leaving little scratch marks on the wood on our new floor. So we have to be super careful and just make sure that we stay off the floor when we're wearing the knee pads. But so far so good. He's doing okay. He just needs to take breaks here and there because sometimes his knee does get a little sore, but he's had no infections since that one time. So hopefully it was just a one-time thing, but kind of scary. So now it brings up a lot of bad memories whenever we are installing this floor. But it's looking beautiful, and hopefully that's just a story we'll tell, and it won't be anything more than that. And he's good to go. But he has a pretty gnarly scar on his knee now. as we have been installing this floor, there have been a few areas that we didn't catch right away that are kind of splintering, and some of the little pieces of wood are coming up and it's showing this like bare wood. So I have been using a marker and kind of just rubbing it in to give it, I don't know, kind of a camouflage look. So I can show you how that works. So you can see how it is kind of like raw wood right here. So I'm just gonna color it in a little. I mean, not too heavy, and then just kind of rub it in. And then it just kind of blends in, because you can see like right here, this is natural, where that's how the wood came, so it's really not that big of a difference. But I think it's doing its job of camouflaging. Okay. Seriously?